wildfires ravage millions of acres across America's West, destroying anything in its path. What remains is charred land, smoky air, and bare soil. These desolate landscapes are at risk for eroding soils, invasive weeds, and deteriorating water quality. That's why it's critical to get new seed planted as soon as possible. Working behind the scenes is a small but vibrant sector of the seed industry, known for specializing in land rehabilitation.
We provide a lot of native grasses for wildfire restoration. Anytime there's a fire, we're one of the first ones to get in there and get seeds on the ground to get things growing and get life back to an area that has been charred and is really in a sad state at that point.
The environmental and conservation seed industry mostly focuses on environmental reclamation projects where public agencies, builders, and individuals are trying to more or less recreate ongoing natural ecosystems that can support themselves.
In my travels around the world, we can raise seed in lots of places. But for stability and knowing that I'm going to get a product, there's very few places where it doesn't rain at harvest time. Most of the world gets its rains starting in July through those fall months, and that's harvest time. So that's why the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, Idaho produce about 60% of the world's supply of grass seed, is because this is the place we can do it.
We're talking about plant material that can go out on disturbed sites, whether after fires or really roadside work, anything that's disturbed soils. There are species that particularly are used for, number one, their ability to perform and save soil and provide habitat, and just do a good job at bringing that disturbed site back to where it was before.
Today's efforts, from harvesting and cleaning the seed to getting it planted in the soil, will have immediate and long-term benefits. It's these benefits that drive these seedsmen.
We have to protect the things that sustain us, and quite frankly, from not just only a grass seed production, but a food production, the soil, without the soil and without protecting that soil, we're in trouble long term.
We get to change the world for better, and we get to make the world better than it was whenever we got here. And I like to see areas where we have gone in and reseeded. We know that those seeds are going to be there for the future generations and for our children and grandchildren.
Several years back, it was in the early 2000s, we had a wildfire in Colorado, and we were able to provide seed for that. The aerial applied it with helicopters. It was on the side of a mountain, and we got to go back up with the Forest Service and look at the site a year later, and it was green, and we got to see deer standing on the side of the mountain, and it just brought a great deal of pride and satisfaction, I guess, in what I do to be able to bring something like that and to see those deer on the side of that mountain and see green again in a world that was all black a year before was really rewarding and neat to see.
One can imagine that managing 250 million acres is quite a task, given the importance of maintaining or promoting certain wildlife that may be endangered, maybe preventing the awful effects of wildfire events that can very much impact negatively waterways or towns or population centers. And in many instances, the BLM is tasked with dealing with these issues on a just-in-time basis. When a wildfire occurs, they have to not only fight the fire, which is incredibly difficult and challenging, but they quickly have to revegetate the land, reseed the land to avoid watershed and other issues that happen quickly. So ASTA plays a critical role in bridging the Bureau of Land Management, dealing with and managing these issues with the native seed industry who's supplying the product, to make sure the communication is clear, to make sure that we're all on the same page so that we can deliver the appropriate materials quickly so that the BLM can do their job.
We have one planet, we have one place to live, we have X amount of soil, and soil is, without maintaining and managing our soil, I mean, we have no future. And that's not only in us growing crops, but it's in the landscape around us.
From air that's better for us to breathe, to water that's clean for us to drink. The environmental and conservation seed industry helps to ensure soil integrity and quality seed. It truly is better seed for a better life.